Right now, as you're watching this, there's a chunk of metal floating 280 million miles from Earth that's worth more than the entire global economy. Not part of the global economy, not most of it, all of it, times 100. This is 16 Psyche, a 140-mile-wide ball of iron, nickel, and precious metals worth approximately 10,000 quadrillion dollars. That's 10,000 dollars. If we brought it to Earth and divided it equally among all 8 billion humans, every single person would get $1.25 billion. Congratulations! You're all billionaires! Also, the economy just collapsed and money is now worthless. But hey, at least you're rich in a Mad Max hellscape. But here's the thing. This isn't science fiction anymore. Right now, at this very moment, NASA has a spacecraft flying to Psyche, arrives 2029. China is planning asteroid mining missions by 2030. At least 5 private companies have raised over $500 million to mine space rocks. The UAE, Luxembourg, and Japan have passed laws making space mining legal. Every trillionaire in human history has been fictional. Mansa Musa? Adjusted for inflation, maybe $400 billion. John D. Rockefeller? $450 billion tops. Elon Musk? Adorable at $250 billion. But the first real trillionaire? They won't make their fortune from oil, tech, or social media. They'll make it from space rocks. And here's the part that should terrify you. The technology exists, the laws are being written, the race has already started. While you're arguing about billionaires on Twitter, those same billionaires are literally planning to mine the sky. And whoever wins doesn't just become rich, they become richer than every human who has ever lived combined. Welcome to the story of how humanity is about to experience the greatest transfer of wealth in history. From Earth to space, from nations to individuals, from fiction to reality. And the craziest part? It's probably going to happen in your lifetime. Buckle up, future space peasants. We're about to explain how rocks in space are about to make someone richer.
Let me blow your mind with some numbers that will make you question everything about wealth and value. Between Mars and Jupiter, there's a cosmic junkyard called the Asteroid Belt. It contains approximately 1.9 million asteroids larger than 1 kilometer in diameter. That's 1.9 million flying mountains made of stuff we kill each other for on Earth. What kind of stuff? Oh, just iron? Boring, but useful. Nickel, your phone battery says hi. Cobalt, every computer needs it. Platinum, worth $30,000 per kilogram. Yes, really. Rhodium, $460,000 per kilogram. Yes, really. Rare earth elements? Without these, no electronics exist. It's like God looked at Earth and said, you know what would be hilarious? Put all the valuable stuff where they can see it, but can't reach it. Yet. The all-stars of space wealth. Let me introduce you to some rocks that are worth more than countries. 16 Psyche. Distance, 280 million miles. Diameter, 140 miles. Composition, 95% metal. Value, 10,000 quadrillion dollars. Could give every human $1.25 billion. DeVita. Diameter, 203 miles. Value, $27 quadrillion. Fun fact, discovered in 1903, ignored for 120 years. 511 DeVita. Diameter, 196 miles. Value, $15 quadrillion. Contains more platinum than has ever been mined on Earth. Ryugu. Diameter, 0.6 miles. Tiny. Value, $82 billion. Japan already landed on it and brought samples back. To understand these numbers, let's compare. Global GDP 2024, $105 trillion. All gold ever mined on Earth, worth $15 trillion. All money in existence, $100 trillion. One medium-sized metallic asteroid, $500 trillion. We're literally fighting wars over resources while there's a cosmic Costco floating above us with unlimited everything. It's like starving to death in a locked grocery store while the key is just slightly out of reach. How we found the cosmic gold mine. 1801, Giuseppe Piazzi discovers first asteroid, Ceres. Scientists say, neat, a space rock. 1849, gold rush in California. Everyone, gold, kill everyone, take the gold. 1891, Max Wolf discovers asteroids using photography. Scientists, we found 300 space rocks. Everyone, who cares? 1960s, spectroscopic analysis reveals asteroid composition. Scientists, these rocks are made of platinum and gold. Everyone, can we nuke Russia with them? 1990s, near-Earth asteroids studied in detail. Scientists, seriously, there's like infinite money up there. Everyone, cool. Anyway, let's fight about oil. 2010s, private companies start taking this seriously. SpaceX, we can actually get there now. Everyone, wait, what? The low-hanging fruit. Forget the asteroid belt. There are 30,000 near-Earth asteroids that pass close to us. Some come closer than the moon. 2011 UW-158 passed by in 2015. Distance, 1.5 million miles, 6 times moon distance. Core, solid platinum. Value, $5 trillion. Size, half a mile wide. $5 trillion flew by and we just waved at it. Like seeing a truck full of money drive past while you're broke and going, huh, neat truck. Apophis will pass Earth in 2029. Distance, 19,000 miles, closer than satellites. Value, $25 billion in rare metals. Size, 370 meters. Fun fact, originally had a 2.7% chance of hitting Earth. Why asteroids are better than Earth mining? Here's the thing nobody talks about. It takes less energy to mine some asteroids than Earth. Mining on Earth. Dig through miles of rock. Fight gravity constantly. Deal with weather, unions, regulations, environmental destruction. Limited ore concentration. 0.001% for gold. Mining a metallic asteroid. No digging, it's already exposed. Minimal gravity, easier to move stuff. No weather, no unions, no EPA. Zero environmental impact. It's a dead rock. Pure metal concentration up to 95%. It's like the difference between digging for treasure in your backyard versus having someone hand you a treasure chest if the treasure chest was floating in space and you needed a rocket to get there. Minor details. The exponential wealth problem. Here's where it gets insane. Once you successfully mine one asteroid. First asteroid, $50 billion profit. Use profit to fund 10 missions. $500 billion. Use that to fund 100 missions. $5 trillion. Use that to build space infrastructure. Unlimited money. It's exponential. The first successful asteroid miner doesn't just get rich, they get infinitely rich. Plot twist. Water is more valuable than gold. A single water-rich asteroid like 24 Themis contains enough water to fuel every rocket launch for the next 1,000 years. Current cost to send water to space, $10,000 per kilogram. Water in one small asteroid, 1 billion kilograms. Value in space, $10 trillion. That's right, in space, water is literally worth more than gold. It's like finding out your swimming pool is worth more than Fort Knox.
Right now, there's a race happening that makes the space race of the 1960s look like a friendly jog. Except this time, it's not about flags and footprints. It's about who becomes richer than entire civilizations. Player 1, Elon Musk, SpaceX. Official position, making life multiplanetary. Actual position, I want to own Mars and everything between here and there. SpaceX capabilities. Falcon Heavy can launch 64 tons to orbit. Starship can launch 150 tons when it stops exploding. Cost per kilogram to orbit, $1,500, was $50,000 in 2000. Reusable rockets, game changer. Musk's actual quotes about asteroids. The first trillionaire will be made in space. Asteroid mining will be economically viable within 10 years. We're going to need a lot of resources for Mars. Translation: I'm not just going to Mars for the scenery. I'm going to strip mine everything on the way there and become emperor of space. Current net worth, $250 billion. Projected net worth after one asteroid, $1 trillion. Projected net worth after asteroid infrastructure, all of it. He'll own all the money. Player 2, Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin. Official mission, millions of people living and working in space. Actual mission, Amazon Prime, but for asteroid delivery. Bezos' vision is actually scarier than Musk's. Move all heavy industry to space, Earth becomes residential only, and he controls the supply chain. Sound familiar? Blue Origin capabilities. New Glenn, 45 tons to orbit. New Armstrong, still secret, ominous. Orbital Reef, private space station. Asteroid processing facility. Bezos already controls 40% of e-commerce. Now he wants to control all commerce by putting the means of production in space. It's like Marx predicted capitalism's endgame, but in space. Bezos quote, I want to see 1 trillion humans living in the solar system. Translation, I want 1 trillion customers who can only buy from me. Player 3, China, the quiet giant. While American billionaires tweet at each other, China is actually doing things. 2019, first landing on Moon's far side. 2020, brought back moon samples. 2021, landed on Mars, first try. 2024, planning asteroid sample return. 2030, planning actual mining mission. China's advantages: government backing, infinite money, no shareholders to please, long-term thinking, 100-year plans. Don't announce plans until they're done. Translation: America, we're going to mine asteroids by 2035. China, we already started. You just don't know it yet. Official Chinese statement: space resources are the common heritage of mankind. Actual Chinese position: first come, first served, and we're coming first. Player 4, Russia, the desperate gambler. Russia's space program is like a former champion boxer who's broke and desperate for one last fight. Current situation: budget, 1/10 of NASA's. Technology, stuck in 1980s. Partners, abandoning them for SpaceX. Plan, partner with China. Be China's junior partner. But here's the thing. Russia has nuclear rockets. Actual, working nuclear thermal rockets that could reach asteroids in half the time. Translation: we can't afford food, but we have nuclear rockets, is the most Russian thing ever. The failed pioneers, cautionary tales. Planetary resources, 2010, 2018. Founders, Peter Diamandis, Eric Anderson. Investors, Google founders, James Cameron and Richard Branson. Raised, $50 million. Result, bankrupt. Problem, too early, too ambitious. Deep Space Industries, 2013, 2019. Plan, asteroid prospecting satellites. Raised, $20 million. Result, acquired by Bradford Space. Problem, couldn't actually build anything. Translation,
Turns out, convincing investors to fund space mining in 2010 was like trying to sell cars in 1850. Right idea, wrong century. The new generation. Astroforge, founded 2021. Funding, $13 million. Plan, launch mission in 2025. Target, near-Earth asteroid for platinum. Reality check, their satellite is the size of a microwave. Origin Space, China, founded 2019. Funding, unknown, state-backed. Launched, NEO-01 satellite, 2021. Purpose, space debris cleanup. Sure it is. iSpace, Japan, founded 2010. Funding, $125 million. Achievement, crashed on moon, 2023. Plan, try again, 2024. Philosophy, fail fast, failed cheap. The government players. NASA, Artemis program. Budget, $93 billion through 2025. Goal, sustainable lunar presence. Translation, moon mining base. Target, water ice at South Pole. Timeline, base by 2030, maybe 2040. ESA, European Space Agency. Budget, €7 billion. Plan, support others and take a cut. Strategy, we'll provide the tools. Translation, we're too broke to compete. Japan, JAXA, already brought back asteroid samples. Twice! Hayabusa 2, returned samples from Ryugu. Next, MMX mission to Martian moons. Strategy, perfect the technology, sell to the highest bidder. The dark horses, United Arab Emirates. Money, infinite oil wealth. Plan, Mars mission successful, next asteroids. Strategy, buy the best people. Timeline, 2030s. Advantage, can lose billions and not care. Luxembourg, population, 640,000. Space budget, €200 million. Strategy, become the Delaware of space. Laws, if you mine it, you own it. Plan, tax space minerals at 0.001% and still get rich. Translation, Luxembourg has more space mining companies registered than it has Starbucks. That's either visionary or insane. Probably both.
So you want to mine an asteroid? Cool. First, you need to solve about 47 impossible engineering problems. Let's start with the easy ones. Step 1. Find your asteroid. There are 1.9 million asteroids larger than 1 kilometer. We've analyzed maybe 1,000. That's like trying to rob a bank when you've only seen the lobby. Current detection methods. Ground telescopes can see big ones. Space telescopes can see composition. Spectral analysis, guess what they're made of. Problem, 90% accuracy at best. Imagine flying 100 million miles to an asteroid you thought was platinum, and it turns out to be space dirt. That's a very expensive oops. Step 2. Send a scout. Before you mine, you need to prospect. This means sending a probe to analyze composition, test surface hardness, measure gravity, check rotation speed, determine if it's solid or a rubble pile. Cost per prospecting mission, $50 to $100 million. Success rate so far, 60%. Step 3. Get there. The hard part. Options for reaching your asteroid? Chemical rockets. Pro, we have them now. Con, need tons of fuel. Travel time, 2 to 5 years. Cost, $100 million minimum. Ion drives. Pro, super efficient. Con, slow as hell. Travel time, 3 to 7 years. Thrust, less than the weight of a piece of paper. Nuclear thermal. Pro, fast and powerful. Con, launching nuclear reactors is concerning. Travel time, 6 months to 2 years. Political problems, infinite. Solar sails. Pro, free propulsion. Con, can't stop. Travel time, depends on the sun's mood. Practicality, great for scouts,
terrible for mining. Should we use the slow method, the dangerous method, or the method that can't stop? Yes. Step 5. Land on a spinning mountain. Most asteroids rotate. Some tumble chaotically. Gravity is basically non-existent. Landing on asteroid Bennu was described as landing on a pile of children's ball pit balls in zero gravity while dizzy. Methods? Harpoons. Literally shoot yourself to the asteroid. Nets. Wrap around it. Claws. Grab and hold. Gravity tractors. Use your ship's tiny gravity. Success rate? Japan did it twice, NASA once. Everyone else crashed. Step 6. Actually mine the damn thing. Here's where it gets fun. And by fun, I mean impossible. Option A, excavation. Problem, no gravity means you push yourself away. Solution, anchored equipment. New problem, anchors don't work in rubble. New solution, bags and bags. New problem, bags in space are hard. Option B, magnetic rakes. For metallic asteroids, use powerful magnets to pull metal particles. Problem, requires massive power. Solution, nuclear reactor. New problem, see previous nuclear issues. Option C, optical mining. Use concentrated sunlight to vaporize rock. Collect the vapor. Problem, requires massive mirrors. Solution, inflatable mirrors. New problem, pointing mirrors while tumbling. It's like trying to perform surgery while bungee jumping on a trampoline in the dark in space with robots. Step 6. Process the ore. Or don't. Option 1. Send raw asteroid chunks to Earth. Pro. Simple. Con. Expensive as hell. Math. $10,000 per kilogram to launch. Similar to land. Option 2. Process in space. Pro. Only send pure metals. Con. Building refineries in space. Requirements. Nuclear power, zero-G manufacturing. Current capability? No. Option 3. Process at Earth-Moon L5 point. Pro. Stable location. Con. Need to build space factories first. Timeline 2040s optimistically. Step 7. Get your $1 trillion home. You've mined 1,000 tons of platinum. Congrats! Now what? Direct return. Strap rockets to refined metal. Fly to Earth. Problem, re-entry at 25,000 miles per hour. Solution, heat shields for metal? Space elevator, if it existed. Lower materials on cable. Problem, cable needs to be 22,000 miles long. Material required? Doesn't exist yet. Timeline, 2075 if we're lucky. Orbital construction. Don't bring to Earth. Use in space for construction. Build more mining ships. Exponential growth. Problem, requires space infrastructure that doesn't exist. We've successfully mined $1 trillion of platinum. Great! How do we get it? We didn't think that far ahead. The real numbers. First asteroid mining mission, development, $1 billion. Launch, $200 million. Operations, $300 million. Return, $200 million. Total, $1.025 billion. Minimum asteroid value to break even, $5 billion. Number of asteroids worth more than $5 billion? 500,000. When will the tech be ready? 2024, prospecting missions launch. 2027, first samples returned. 2030, demonstration mining mission. 2035, first commercial extraction. 2040, regular mining operations. 2045, first Trillionaire. 2050, space economy exceeds Earth economy. Or everything fails and we're still arguing about gas prices in 2050. Honestly, 50-50 odds.
Before you run off to claim your $1 trillion space rock, there's a tiny problem. Nobody knows who owns space. And by nobody, I mean lawyers have been arguing about this since 1967, and they're still confused. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967. signed during the Cold War when the biggest concern was nuclear weapons in orbit, not Jeff Bezos strip mining the moon. What it says: space is province of all mankind. No nation can claim celestial bodies, no weapons of mass destruction in space, countries responsible for their companies' actions. What it doesn't say: can individuals own asteroids? Can companies mine space? Who enforces any of this? What happens when someone breaks it? It's like writing rules for the internet in 1850. No one shall send inappropriate telegraphs to the moon. Great, super helpful. The national positions. United States, 2015. Commercial Space Launch Competitiveness Act. U.S. citizens can own asteroid resources, but can't own the asteroid itself, like saying you can own the fish, but not the ocean. You can own that asteroid, but you can take everything from it. So I own it? No, you own what you took. What's the difference? Lawyers need jobs too. Luxembourg, 2017. Space Resources Law. Anyone can mine asteroids from Luxembourg. Ownership guaranteed by Luxembourg. Population, 640,000. Space Force, 0. Luxembourg declaring space law is like your HOA declaring war on Russia. Adorable, but ultimately meaningless. China. Position: space belongs to all mankind. Translation: until we get there first. Russia. Position: the US law is illegal. Also Russia, but we're doing it anyway. Japan, 2018, Space Activities Act. Allows commercial space mining, already brought back samples. Basically said, we're doing it, deal with it. The Moon Agreement, 1979. The treaty nobody signed. Declared moon and asteroids common heritage of mankind. Requires sharing of resources with all nations. Countries that signed, 18. Countries that matter in space, 0. It's like creating rules for a party nobody came to. Everyone must share the cake. There is no cake. Nobody's here. What happens when two companies claim the same asteroid? Scenario 1. SpaceX and Blue Origin arrive at the same asteroid. Legal precedent? None. Maritime law suggests first to arrive wins. Space law suggests shrug. Likely outcome, whoever has bigger lawyers. Scenario 2. US company versus Chinese company. US law, we own it. Chinese law, no, we own it. International law, cricket sounds. Likely outcome, space Cold War. Your Honor, my client landed first. No, we orbited first. We shot a harpoon into it in 2019. That was our harpoon. Judge, I don't get paid enough for this. Who's the space police? Short answer, nobody. Long answer, still nobody. Current enforcement mechanism, strongly worded letters. UN condemnation. Economic sanctions, maybe. Military action, how? With what? Space Force? The Artemis Accords, 2020. US-led agreement for Moon, Mars, and asteroid mining. Signatories, 32 countries. Notable non-signatories, China and Russia. Key points. Safety zones around operations, aka DIBs. Share scientific data, but not profits. Peaceful purposes, undefined. We promise to be peaceful while strip mining space. What if someone else mines our claim? Then we peacefully blow them up. That doesn't sound peaceful. It's peaceful if we call it peaceful. The property rights clusterfuck. On Earth, clear ownership, deeds, courts. In space, vibes and hopes. Example, Company A spends $2 billion to mine asteroid. Company B shows up and starts mining the same asteroid. Company A, we were here first. Company B, prove it in space court. Space court doesn't exist. Who taxes space income? If a US company mines an asteroid, US wants taxes, the country of launch wants taxes, the country of company registration wants taxes, Luxembourg wants taxes, because why not? UN wants a cut for humanity. Congratulations on your $1 trillion asteroid.
Everyone wants 40%. But that's 200% total. Should have read the space law. There is no space law. Exactly. Pay up. Environmental law in space. Can you pollute space? It's already empty and dead. Can you destroy asteroids? They're not alive. Who protects space? Space doesn't need protection. But wait. Kessler syndrome. Debris cascade that makes orbit useless. Asteroid trajectory changes. Could hit Earth. Space junk. Already a problem. We can't pollute space. Why not? Because, space environmentalism? Space is literally infinite vacuum. Save the asteroids.
How do you ensure a space mining operation? Lloyd's of London will insure anything. Also, Lloyd's accept that. Problems? No actuarial data, no precedent, infinite liability. Act of God? Everything in space is an act of God. Current solution, self-insurance, aka hope nothing goes wrong. Let's talk about what happens when someone successfully mines their first asteroid and brings back, say, 1,000 tons of platinum. Current Earth platinum supply, 190 tons per year. Congratulations, you just crashed the entire precious metals market. The first asteroid changes everything. Day 1, SpaceX returns with 1,000 tons of platinum. Day 2, platinum price drops 90%. Day 3, every platinum mine on Earth closes. Day 4, South Africa's economy collapses. Day 5, currency crisis. Day 6, maybe this was a bad idea. We're rich. Actually, you just made platinum worthless. But we have so much. That's the problem. History lesson. Spain's gold catastrophe. 1500s. Spain brings massive gold from Americas. Result, massive inflation, economic collapse. Lesson learned, none, apparently. But that was just gold from one continent. We're talking about metal from infinite asteroids. Welcome to post-scarcity. When raw materials become essentially free, manufacturing costs drop 90%. Energy becomes the only constraint. Labor becomes the main cost. Intellectual property becomes everything. Winners, whoever owns the mining infrastructure. Energy companies, software and design companies, countries with spaceports. Losers, mining companies, resource extraction economies, anyone with savings in precious metals, basically everyone who isn't a space miner. Good news, everything is free now. Great. Am I rich? No, money is meaningless now. So I'm poor? No, poverty doesn't exist. So what am I? Confused. You're confused. The 20-year chaos window. 2030 to 2035. First commercial asteroid mining. Speculation goes insane. Stock market's volatile. Commodity futures market dies. 2035 to 2040. Regular mining operations begin. Traditional mining collapses. Massive unemployment, government bailouts. 2040 to 2045. New economy emerges. Space-based economy larger than Earth? Universal basic income? Probably. Traditional economics textbooks burned for warmth. 2045 to 2050. Post-scarcity society. Money replaced with something. Energy credits? Social credits? Likes? First trillionaire becomes first quadrillionaire. Economics professors retire en masse. Countries that win. Countries with space launch capability, advanced technology sectors, service economies, low resource dependence. Winners: USA, China, Japan, maybe Europe. Countries that lose: countries dependent on oil exports, Saudi Arabia, Russia; mining, South Africa, Australia, Chile; precious metal reserves, everyone; traditional manufacturing, everyone else. Our entire economy is based on oil. Space has unlimited hydrocarbons. But our strategic gold reserves? Space has unlimited gold. Our rare earth monopoly? Space has unlimited everything. We're fucked, aren't we? Completely. The trillionaire problem. First successful asteroid miner becomes trillionaire. Uses trillion to fund more missions, becomes multi-trillionaire. Eventually owns the entire space economy, effectively owns humanity's future. Projected wealth of first asteroid mining CEO. 2035, $100 billion, current rich person. 2040, $500 billion, richest ever. 2045, $1 trillion, first trillionaire. 2050, $10 trillion, richer than nations. 2055, $100 trillion, owns the solar system. Wealth inequality is bad now? Wait until one person owns all the asteroids. That can happen. The Dutch East India Company owned countries. That was different. You're right. This will be worse. The good side. Yes, there is one. With unlimited raw materials, mega engineering projects become possible. Mega habitats for millions. Terraforming Mars actually doable. Dyson spheres capture all the sun's energy. Interstellar travel finally affordable. What happens to human culture? When scarcity ends, work becomes optional. Art and creativity becomes currency. Status from accomplishment, not wealth. Philosophy and spirituality, revival. Or complete hedonistic collapse. What do you do for a living? I exist. No, like for work. Work is obsolete. So what do you do all day? Contemplate the meaninglessness of existence and watch TikTok.
Let me tell you exactly how this is going to unfold, because the trajectory is as predictable as human greed. 2024 to 2030, the prospecting phase. 2024, Astroforge launches first commercial prospecting mission. China announces Asteroid research program, mining. NASA's Psyche mission continues journey. Stock market creates Space Mining Index. 2025, first commercial asteroid samples returned. Mining stocks go insane. Luxembourg hosts first space mining conference. Lawyers still arguing about who owns what. 2026, SpaceX announces asteroid mission. Blue Origin announces competing mission. China quietly launches 5 missions. First space mining bankruptcy, too early. 2027, confirmation of trillion-dollar asteroid. Global commodity markets panic. Mining companies lobby against space mining. Too late, Pandora's box is open. 2028, first actual mining equipment launched. Insurance companies refuse coverage. Space mining ETFs exceed $1 trillion. Traditional mining stocks collapse. 2029, NASA Psyche arrives at 16 Psyche, confirms 10,000 quadrillion value. Global Economic Summit on space resources. Nobody agrees on anything. 2030, first commercial mining operation begins. Target, small near-Earth asteroid. Goal, 100 tons of platinum group metals. Reality, probably fails, but lessons learned. The 2020s, when humanity realized money was just rocks, and there were better rocks in space.
2030 to 2040, the gold rush. 2031. First successful asteroid mining. 50 tons of platinum returned. Platinum price crashes 60%. This is fine, everyone. 2032. Space mining companies, 500 plus. Successful operations, 3. Bankruptcies, 450 plus. Investors, this time is different. 2033. China claims entire asteroid. US contests claim. UN holds emergency session, nothing resolved. 2034. First space mining war, legal. 2 companies claim same asteroid. Lawyers make billions. Asteroid worth 50 billion. Legal fees, 51 billion. 2035. Regular mining runs established. 1,000 tons precious metals per year. Earth mining industry, dead. Unemployment, problematic. 2036. First orbital refinery. Process asteroids in space, don't return to Earth. Build more space infrastructure. Exponential growth begins. 2037. Space economy, 1 trillion. Earth economy, confused. First spaceborne company IPO. Trades in Bitcoin because why not? 2038. Asteroid belt missions begin. 5-year journey to real wealth. Hundreds of missions launched. Most will fail. 2039. Near-Earth asteroids, mostly claimed. Legal battles, infinite. Piracy, beginning. Space Force, actually needed now. 2040. First person worth $1 trillion. Owns 30% of space infrastructure. Controls precious metal supply. Effectively owns future. The 2030s. When we discovered you could be too rich, but did it anyway. 2040 to 2050, the New World Order. 2041, post-scarcity economics begin. Raw materials, essentially free. Manufacturing, mostly automated. Human labor, increasingly pointless. 2042, universal basic income required. Not for kindness, for stability. Alternative, revolution. Rich people, fine, here's money. 2043, first space nation declared. Location, asteroid belt. Population, 10,000. Recognition, complicated. 2044, Earth resources abandoned. Mines, tourist attractions. Oil wells, museums. Coal, remember this stuff? 2045, trillionaire count, 5. Billionaire count, 10,000. Millionaire, poverty level. Regular people, confused but fed. 2046, first Mars terraforming begins. Funded by asteroid mining. Timeline, 200 years. Optimism, excessive. 2047. Space population, 1 million. Earth population, stabilizing. Reason to live on Earth, decreasing. Space real estate, booming. 2048. First generation born in space. Never sets foot on Earth. Considers Earth that old place. Humanity, officially space species. 2049. Asteroid belt, fully mapped. Valuable asteroids, tagged. Ownership, disputed. Wars, probable. 2050. Space economy, 100 trillion. Earth economy, 50 trillion. Power center, shifted to space. Earth is retirement home for species. The 2040s, when Earth became humanity's basement apartment. 2050 to 2100. The Solar System Incorporated. 2055. Jupiter moon mining begins. Helium-3 from lunar surface. Fusion power finally working. Energy essentially unlimited. 2060. First quadrillionaire. Owns entire asteroid mining sector. Personal wealth exceeds most nations. Democracy? Theoretical at this point. 2070. Dyson swarm construction begins. Powered by asteroid materials. Energy collection, 1% of the sun. Earth, irrelevant. 2080. Human population in space, 100 million. Human population on Earth, 8 billion. Political power, guess where? Earth is space's Puerto Rico. 2090. Interstellar probe launched. Funded by single individual. Destination, Proxima Centauri. Arrival, 2140. 2100. Solar system fully colonized. Asteroids mostly consumed. Next target, Oort cloud. Humanity unrecognizable. The 21st century, when we ate the solar system and asked for seconds.
So you're watching this thinking, how do I not get left behind when space becomes the only economy that matters? Good question. Here's your survival guide. What to invest in now. 1. Space companies. Obvious. SpaceX, when it IPOs. Rocket Lab, already public. Astra, if it survives. Any company with Astro in the name. 2. Mining technology companies. Not Earth mining, dead industry walking. Robotics companies, AI companies for autonomous mining, nuclear technology for space power. 3. Water. Seriously. Most valuable resource in space, needed for fuel, life support, Earth water companies with space ambitions. Whoever figures out ice mining. Should I invest in gold? Gold will be worthless. Silver? Also worthless. Bitcoin? Digital gold for when real gold is worthless. Sure, why not? What to study? Aerospace engineering, build the machines. Robotics, robots do the mining. Space law, someone needs to argue about rocks. Orbital mechanics, navigate to the money. Philosophy, explain why life has meaning when work doesn't. Where to live? Spaceports will be the new Silicon Valley. Florida, Cape Canaveral. Texas, SpaceX territory. Kazakhstan, if you're adventurous. French Guyana, for the European option. Japan, for the technology scene. Move to Florida for the space economy. But Florida is sinking. By the time it sinks, we'll live in space anyway. Skills for the space economy. Useful. Programming. Everything is automated. Engineering. Someone has to fix robots. Medicine. Space is trying to kill you. Psychology. Isolation makes people crazy. Sales. Someone has to sell asteroids. Useless. Traditional mining, commodity trading, most Earth-based manufacturing, economics, all theories destroyed. This YouTube channel, probably.
In the next 20 years, someone is going to become richer than every human who has ever lived combined. They won't do it through apps or oil or conquering nations. They'll do it by grabbing rocks in space. This isn't just about money. This is about the entire future of our species. The first successful asteroid mining company doesn't just win capitalism, they win humanity's future. We have two paths. Path 1, we stay on Earth fight over dwindling resources, and eventually destroy ourselves. Path 2, we expand into space, access unlimited resources, and become a true spacefaring civilization. The technology exists. The money is being invested. The race has started. The only question is, who wins? Will it be the billionaire with the most rockets, the country with the least regulations, or some random startup that figures out the secret before everyone else? The first trillionaire isn't born from Earth's resources. They're born from the courage to look up and say, those rocks are worth more than everything down here. And if you think wealth and equality is bad now, wait until someone owns the solar system. The greatest gold rush in human history is about to begin. It won't be in California or the Klondike. It'll be in the vacuum of space, where a single rock can make you richer than nations. Welcome to the asteroid economy, where physics is the only law. Robots do the work, and whoever gets there first owns everything. The question isn't if this will happen, it's whether you'll be part of it or watching from Earth as others divide up the solar system. Choose wisely. The clock is ticking, and somewhere out there, $1 trillion rock is waiting for someone brave enough to grab it.